Okay, in this video, I'm going to go over my strategies for setting up my 8-week cut for Spain. I'm starting my cut in 6 days. Okay, literally 6 days. I haven't even planned this out at all. It's all just been in my head. So I'm going to literally do that on this video. You can see exactly how I'd set up a cut for myself. This one's going to be very aggressive. So I'll show you why it's aggressive and how that should look if it's aggressive. And you're going to see that reflected in the strategies here. However, the overarching principles are going to be the exact same as far as the methods that I use with my clients and the methods I used in my last fat loss phase, where I went from 185 to 172 and around 10% body fat earlier this year. Okay, so I'm going to be going through that in this video here. I'll show you my scale in a bit as well too, but so I got to 172 in March, just to kind of do a quick review here, okay? And since March, I'm in July now, I've since slowly ramped up in body weight up into 177 to 181, kind of like hovered back and forth between that. And body fat percentage is similar, couple points higher, okay? Abs are still there. They look extra shredded some days. They don't look so shredded some other days. Normal when you're in kind of a maintenance physique development phase. So not aggressively pushing food, but pushing food nonetheless to increase lean tissue, increase metabolism, and spend time out of the calorie deficit deliberately. Okay, so I'm going to go through these, basically go through my cut right now. I'm going to show you exactly how I set it up using the exact same methods that I use with my clients. So strategies I use with my clients are three main things. Okay, we have some sprinkles that we add in, but three main levers that we optimize. Okay, nutrition, steps, training. These are the three main needle movers, okay? First two here, nutrition and steps, are going to be the biggest ones when it comes to fat loss, because nutrition is going to keep our calorie deficit low, or I should say keep our calorie intake low, and that creates the calorie deficit that we need. And then steps are going to support the calorie deficit as well by keeping calorie output high. Okay, so calorie intake low from nutrition, that keeps limit down from calories coming in, and then steps keeps the calorie output high. Okay, and when we do that, the delta between, that is what creates the calorie deficit. And these should work symbiotically, which is why these are two of the three main needle movers I use in my coaching program. Okay, and I use it with myself, of course. And then training is designed not to burn calories, although it will. It is designed primarily, everyone gets that wrong, but it's designed primarily to preserve muscle mass and increase strength, okay? That's the biggest thing while you are actually cutting. It's not there to get shredded, okay? That's what the nutrition and the, how do I use this? Nutrition and the steps are for. So let's go into nutrition first, okay? So let's get rid of this guy. Bam. So I'm going to be using the MacroIntuitive Protocol. This is exactly what I use with my clients from a nutrition perspective, okay? Whether they're in a fat loss phase, maintenance, physique development, reverse phase, whatever we're doing, we will always do some form of the MacroIntuitive Protocol, which is, okay, it's pairing two things. It's a macro meal-based approach paired with intuitive habit-based approach, okay? So one, the macro meal-based is where you're weighing your food and tracking it to some extent, right? Macros, obviously, you're just using macro targets. Meal-based, you're just going to be eating a meal plan, following the meals. You're not necessarily tracking the actual macros, right? Depending on if you have a coach handling that or whatever. That's going to be basically what I call like the rigid or the structured side of this equation, and then the flexible, more intuitive side of the equation, and the flexible kind of habit-based side is going to be this side of things, where we're going to be using like more of the gray area skills. Okay, these are going to be things that are not easily measurable, and we pair these together very strategically to get the outcome that we want. Most fitness nutrition protocols are usually like some type of macro meal-based thing, so they already have that, and they either just follow it 100% of the time, which is very hard to do, and it requires more and more willpower the longer you do it. So you kind of have a ticking time bomb for how long you can actually sustain that. So there's a problem right there, because you kind of have an expiry coming up if you choose to go that route. And then they'll do that, but then they pair it with some cheat meals, which really are like horrible strategies, because they set you back typically. And if they don't set you back physically, so maybe you do it and you're like, oh my goodness, I lost weight after. That does happen sometimes. But you don't feel good. Your digestion is shot. Your sleep sucks. Your metabolism sucks. You're mentally foggy, and your intuitive eating skills, which you need for a sustainable long-term relationship with food and your body, that's where you actually maintain your physique long-term. You don't develop those skills at all. You're just using this as an opportunity to gorge your face off, and that is not healthy, okay? So that's why we pair these two together very strategically. Now, I'm going to go over some things here with you. So I'm going to need another text box here. Actually, I'll just do it here, okay? So current calories and macros. Right now I'm at, actually you can see it here. So this is actually technically what I've been doing for the last like several months. So you can actually, I don't even need to put it there because you can see it. So 3,064, and that, I don't even think that's perfect math, but that's roughly what the calories are. This is more important to me as hitting my macro target. So 200 grams protein. You can see I didn't hit my macros bang on, but I was close to my calories here. So 200 protein, 400 carb, and 75 fat. Okay, so carb was a little bit lower, fat was a little higher on this day. This is just an example. In a physique development / maintenance phase is where I'm a little bit more flexible with this. So this is good. I wouldn't accept this in a fat loss phase. And then this is what I've been doing in the last like week or so. I've been deliberately pushing my calories to really see what I can do in the last like week and a half here before I go into a fat loss phase. And I'm not doing this because like, oh, I want to eat everything before I go into a fat loss phase. Like, I think that's a horrible mindset to have. I'm looking at this like I don't want to hold back on the low end or even medium end of the maintenance, because a lot of people think maintenance is one number. Maintenance is a range. So I kind of wanted to flirt with see if my maintenance is a little higher here. So I pushed up to 4,000 calories. Pretty aggressive, right? But it's going to be short term. So I kind of want to see what would happen to my body composition and the scale here. So I went up to 4,000. So you can see here like 281, 297 protein, two different days here. And then carbs 448. I hit 444, pretty close there. Fat 127, fat 118. So both around 4,000 calories there. Okay. So I wouldn't typically like coach someone through this, but I just want to be transparent with kind of the strategies and experiments that kind of I've been doing. This is kind of just like a Hail Mary kind of, let's see what happens, right? I typically struggle to eat this much food, so it's not like this is tons of fun for me or anything, but I'm going to do this for another on and off because I'm going to Vegas soon in a couple days, so I'm going to do this like on and off for the next few days, but I probably will hit mostly this many calories while I'm in Vegas. Current free meals and flex strategy. So all I've been doing here, super, super simple, literally 2 to 3 free meals per week. Okay. When I'm in a fat loss phase, I stick to 2. That's what I do. And honestly, I'll hit 4 sometimes on this, depending on what I'm doing. But this is my go-to, is like 2 to 3. And if I've been traveling, then I come home, I'll definitely stick to 2 because it helps me just get right back on track. But if I'm kind of been at home for a month or whatever, if I want to have a third one, I'll do a third one. And then I'm just locked in on my other macros. So you can see how like this phase is more flexible, but I still have like a handle on everything. Like I'm tracking every day, other than I'll make some room for the free meal. So if you can see on these days, I didn't have any free meals because I tracked everything, but yeah. So, and I guess I didn't really explain the MacroIntuitive Protocol. Like I kind of said what it was, but didn't really say what the strategies are. So macro meal plan base is like this. So I have this all laid out, right? And I follow this every single day. And then I basically will swap a meal or two for a free meal twice a week. So meaning like I'll basically hit protein around like I'll hit protein like 75% is what I'll kind of aim for, somewhere around there. I'll hit carbs 50% or less. I'll hit fats 50% or less. So I'm leaving a bunch of calories left, right? Mostly carbs and fats for a free meal. So I'll do breakfast and lunch, pretty similar, pretty normal. And then, but looking for those kind of macro targets and then leaving a bunch of room, like what I just said, for a free meal, going out for date night with my wife or family event or holiday or whatever it may be. So that's what that is. So that's why I say 2 to 3 free meals per week, because my go-to default strategy with clients and myself during a fat loss phase is going to be 2 per week. So you'll see that's what I'm going to do here. So new calories and macros. So let's do some math here on this, right? So when I did my calories last time, I dropped to 2,500 calories. I forget what my exact split was for macros, but I did 2,500 something, and I was slowly losing weight. I did good for the first like 6 to 8 weeks, and then the last 4 weeks I dropped to 2,300. So if I was going to drop to 2,300 right now, yeah, you know what? That's probably what I'm going to do. See, I'm even toying with myself, being like, no, I don't want to do it. Bro, I already said I'm going to make this aggressive. So we're going to do this aggressive. So 2,300, what I did last time, okay? So 2,300 cals. Let's format this correctly. So 2,300 cals, okay? And then I think I did 185 protein, okay? I'll make sure this all adds up in the maths. And then I think I did like 255 carbs. We'll do the math after. Okay, and then I think I did 65 fat. So let me see if that works. So 185 protein plus 255 carb times 4, that's 1760. 65 times 9, 585 plus 1760. Yeah, 2345. Yep, so that's exactly what I did last time. Okay, perfect. So that's where we're going to drop to. Holy dude, this is going to be gnarly. Woo. Okay, but I'm going to get shreddy. Okay, let's highlight these. Perfect. Okay, and then this is pretty simple here. This is literally how you set up MacroIntuitive Protocol. Like you literally just do this. And then you could get ChatGPT to like make you a meal plan out of this or something. But you got to follow it. And you got to make sure the maths, because AI is good, but sometimes it's not that good. So 2 free meals per week. Because this worked great last time, so I'm just going to run with it. And it works great with my clients. So these are totally off plan, anything that I want. And I've developed some really, really good intuitive eating skills here, even when I'm dieting. And these are there for that opportunity to develop those skills. So that's pretty much it. This is what I'm going to be doing. So I will, as of next Monday, I will update everything to have these numbers. And I'm going to document this on this channel. So that's why I kind of want to do this video, because I wanted to get any questions that you might have. You can throw them in the comments or DM me on Instagram. And then I might do some like full day of eating vlogs or training vlogs or whatever vlogs, just full lifestyle vlogs to kind of show you like how I do this. Let's go into the next step here. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to use this thing. So let's go into steps here. Whoop. Here we go. So current target, I've been hitting, we'll say 10 to 12K, because technically I'm hitting, my target's 12, so I kept it the same from my last fat loss phase. That didn't change. But I'm a little more flexible with this. I just don't let myself get under 10. I always hit 10. 10's like my floor plan. 12 is my ceiling plan. I'm not sure if you've seen my last video on this, but I made a video talking about like floor plan and ceiling plan. Most people just make a ceiling plan, and then when they miss it, they just fall off track. So I have a ceiling plan, which is this, and then my floor plan is this. So it's like I'm hitting this as much as I possibly can, and then I hit 10 only on days where life punches me in the face. I can't just choose to hit 10 because I don't want to, right? I have to hit 12. And then days where I'm literally getting roasted by life, then okay, we can just drop to 10 for that day. But you don't want to be regularly hitting your floor plan. So that's current target. Literally new target's going to be the exact same, but just I'm not even going to allow myself a floor plan. I'm just going to hit 12K even if I have to lose sleep for it. I'm just going to do it. No matter what. These are per day, by the way. Okay. And then, so cardio, I don't typically recommend at all. Not because it's like I think it's bad or anything. It's just I don't recommend it during a fat loss phase, because I'd rather just make things as simple and actionable as possible that takes up the least amount of time. Just because it's just so much easier to just check the boxes, right? And honestly, I'd rather spend more time in the gym. Not that I need to, if I do have extra time. That being said, for me personally, I've been really enjoying running. So I'm just going to keep up with my running. So I'm going to say like 1 to 2 runs per week, any distance. Like maybe I'll start, I'm not even doing a legit running program. I'm just accumulating mileage right now. So this is very like informal, but I use it as basically a way, like if someone is a runner, like I have a couple clients that are, they're just using it as a way to accumulate more steps. Like I don't care if someone walks or runs. We need to hit our steps. Okay. So yeah, 1 to 2 runs per week. And my goal there is kind of twofold. Number one, it's like, great, I get to accumulate more steps in less time. That's great. There's nothing magically fat burning about it, but it's also going to be achieving my performance goal of just improving my cardiovascular endurance, right? So it's pretty simple there. Okay, let's go into workouts. Okay, ba-bam. So this is okay. Current split. So what I'm doing right now is Monday is push, Tuesday is pull, Wednesday is legs. Oh my goodness, this is gonna get in our way. Thursday is rest and or run. Sometimes I'll run on a workout day, so that's why I say /run. And then Friday is push. And then Saturday is pull. Okay. So yeah, this is the split. And then if I don't hit my Saturday because of weekends and travel and whatever, well, I plan for it, and then I just hit a push pull. So I would say or push pull. I'll just hit it here. So I'll hit a push and a pull session in one go on Friday, and then I take Saturday, Sunday off. And then Sunday would be like a rest or run. Now, no one else needs to run. I want to make that clear. Everyone thinks you have to run to lose weight. No, you don't. I'm literally just doing it because I have a running goal. I have a cardio goal here, right? So, okay, so let's get this guy out of the way. Okay, so now let's look at this next split. So what I want to do here for my new split, I'm literally going to keep this the same. This doesn't need to change. This is like a huge misconception a lot of people have. Literally doesn't need to change, okay? There we go. So new split, blue. Monday push, pull, legs. Yeah, I'm not going to change this because it's been going really, really well. Now, what I will change, and I've been already changing it, is like some of the exercise selection in here. Now, I'm not going to do it because of the fat loss phase. I'm just going to do it because I'm already in the motion for doing that. So I'm kind of tweaking some things here, changing some of my presses. I added in stiff leg deadlifts into leg day to add like a deadlift variation. So stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty simple. That's literally it. So here's your summary, boys. Okay, so let's do this. There we go. Okay, so full summary. So nutrition, okay, is going to be macros plus 2 free meals per week, okay? And then steps is literally as simple as it needs to be. Everyone thinks it needs to be complicated. Like, I'm going to take the exact same supplements. That's not going to change either. I take 100, and because everyone's going to freak out when I say this, right? I've made many videos about this. I take 175 milligrams of test a week. And actually, I recently got a prescription for it. So actually, my dose has gone down. So I should get blood work to kind of see where I'm at. So let's say between 125 to 175 milligrams test. But I've been at 175 for the last like 2 years. So that is not planning to really change as far as go up, but going down is fine by me. 12K steps per day or more. We'll take more if we can. This is a thing where more is always better. And then workouts, same split. Basically, I've been doing like a 5-day. Yeah, so 5-day. Yeah, that's literally it. Like it's that simple. It does not need to be complicated. When I'm setting up someone's plan, like for my clients, like it's literally this, and then I have a bunch of other, ways that we track and access to my coaching app and like all these other like things that we sprinkle in to really just dial in a machine that's just like boom, like just killer, right? But for me, when I'm just like building out a plan, like this is it. It's like those 3 things: the main needle movers, nutrition, using MacroIntuitive Protocol, steps, workouts, and then execute. So I guess I should say here, 2,300 cals. Right, so yeah, so that's basically it. Let me know if you have any questions on this, and let me know what you want to see. I didn't want to get too, it's been an 18-minute video anyway. I didn't want to get too in the weeds on this. I'll probably do a lot more vlogs and things explaining more about this. I still have 6 days until I start this, so if there's something that you want to know before that, let me know and I can do a video on it. And if there's anything you want to know throughout the actual 8-week cut, because I'm going from 3,000 to 4,000 calories dropping to 2,300. Like, this is going to be gnarly. I'm excited. It's going to be nuts. So it's going to be aggressive, and I want to get super shreddy. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes. I'll be documenting it regularly with photos, scale weight. Oh yeah, I want to show you this quick actually before I'm done. So this is basically like what it looks like, right? So this is my scale weight from the last, I guess 6 months. So this is when I started my first cut, right? So right up here, 185-ish down to 172. And then this is my reverse up, and then up into maintenance. And then this was after under eating while traveling. And then I just went back on my usual plan, of course, came back home, and now I'm back up here. So this is me at like 35 to 4,000 calories. Now I'm going to do another video explaining why this is so drastic, because I look really good during all this time, even though scale's gone up and down. You'd think I'd look drastically different, but I don't. So I'm gonna do a video explaining how the scale's like, it's really good, but you got to know and understand how it works to really understand how to use it. Otherwise, this type of thing would like make some people's brains implode. But I didn't really panic at all because I knew exactly what was happening. So that's basically it, boys. So yeah, let me know any questions in the comments below, and let me know what you want to see over this cut, because it's going to be gnarly.